One reason why we ought to learn how to sell is so that we can take time off and get some well deserved rest. This is more so, especially for those of us in the weddings and the event space, because there are a lot of us, me included, who don't take any time off and who don't get any rest. And the reason why that's the case is fairly obvious. You need a healthy sales pipeline before you can take time off for holidays, for rest and relaxation. Because if you don't have a good pipeline, if you don't have predictable cash flows, if the money isn't right, then it just doesn't feel right taking time off for holidays or public holidays or whatever it is. I have some friends who are good at doing these sorts of things, taking time off, shutting down the business, disappearing over Christmas, things like that. The first person that I ran into who does that regularly is, okay, I'm not going to say her name on the air, and I won't really say she's a friend. She's more of an acquaintance because we've spoken over the phone a couple of times and we've been doing business together for maybe 3 or 4 years now. Because for Shegun and I, that's my partner who runs the photo booth, we get most of our props from her. And anytime we need creative and fancy stuff done, I hear she even does party decor items. She doesn't do the decorations herself, but she gets to, print out all the stuff and make all those arts and crafty things that you use in the actual decor that goes up. So that's Hazel's party things. And I remember the first time we tried getting some stuff done close to Christmas. Not terribly close, maybe at about the 18th of December or so. And she told us that they were not going to be able to take the order. And that was because they were going on holiday. They were shutting the office down for Christmas. And that was the first time that I heard something like that, and I was really shocked. I'd never heard of a wedding vendor or someone who is involved in the event space taking time off like that, who was going to say, well, yes, there's an order coming in, but we're not taking it because the office is going to be closed. And you can only do stuff like that if you have sorted out your sales pipeline, you guys have healthy cash flows, and there's a sense of security because you know that you have these orders coming in, you have things to look forward to, and you can pretty much forecast what your future revenues are going to be like. Another person that I know who also does that is Hannah. She runs Spice and Ice. It's a catering service here in Abuja, and it also was something similar. Putting in a bid for a client, I reached out to her, and she said they were not going to be fulfilled that because they were shutting down for Christmas. And I'm beginning to see that there are a couple of other vendors out there, other event industry professionals who do the same thing. And, looking from the outside anyway, I think what sets them apart from the rest of us who take any gig that comes at any time, even during the holidays, is that they have been able to set their sales and marketing game right. And so because of that, they can reasonably and predictably forecast what their cash flows are going to be. And so they have some sense of security. So until you have healthy sales and a good pipeline, and you're able to reasonably guess or predict what your income will be, even if it's going to be, well, on average, I'm doing 100K a month in profits or 300K a month or whatever. But until you get to that stage where you have some relative predictability in your sales pipeline and your cash flows, you're not going to feel okay with taking time off for Christmas or the public holidays or things like that. So this is one of the many reasons why we ought to learn how to sell. Because if we sell well, we are going to get pampered well. Because we're going to be able to take time off and rest. And we're going to be able to take that flight to go and visit our in-laws in Lagos or our family, wherever they are. Because we know that even if we blow 300 grand or 400 grand on that trip, we'll come back the market is there, the sales hustle resumes, and there are enough people in the pipeline for us to continue growing our businesses and to continue growing our profits. So why do we need to learn how to sell? We should learn how to sell well so that we can rest. Until you sell, you can't get pampered. Thank you very much for listening to the Sales for the Nigerian Wedding Industry podcast. I'm your host, Abuja-based event and wedding photographer, Tavishima Ayede. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.